Honorable colleagues, I welcome you to today's sitting.
On Tuesday, 13th February 2024, the Minister of State for Internal Affairs, General David Muhoozi, said citizens will be spared from paying 50,000 shillings to renew their national identity cards, save for those interested in express service.
Registration of persons in bracket fees regulations, statutory instrument number 9 of 2016, regulation 2, on fees payable for renewal of a national identification card, including penalties for default in renewal by a citizen. The amendment here is intended to remove the fees payable by a citizen for renewal of a national ID card and instead introduce fees, Right Honourable Speaker and Honourable Members, only for express service where one requires express service to get an ID.
Me, what I'm fearing is all about the deadlines and the timeline, because this process is the one from which we are going to extract the register for the elections. And we need to have this register, I think, ready by around Jan 2025. When I was checking, you need to renew 15.2 million IDs. You need to enroll around 17 million new ones.
One of the challenges has been NERA operating on very dilapidated computers and equipments and system and possibly application. Now, out of the budget of 300 billion that has been provided, the ministry is providing 208 billion for development. I think the priority must go into having the right computers, equipments, and application.
In the sitting, the State Minister for Trade, Honourable David Bahati, said government will soon update Parliament on the status of the tea sector in the country.
Factories are shutting down, and reason being, one, the cost of production is very high. A unit of electricity per kilowatt, it is between 3,470. Unlike those who are producing within the industrial parks, where a kilowatt, they only buy it at 1,900 and some cents. My prayers, one, government should come and bring a subsidy to all the tea farmers, Right Honourable Speaker. Right Honourable Speaker, all the factories that have been shut down and at the verge of shutting down should be bailed out the way we bailed out attack sugar.
We have been discussing this issue, an interministerial committee chaired by the Prime Minister. We have written a cabinet paper which will be probably presented on Monday, and some of the prayers that Honourable Mwatekama has raised, including an immediate subsidy to have relief for the tea factories and farmers, has been put in that.
Lawmakers tasked the Ministry of Finance to avail a supplementary request of 10 billion shillings to the National Drug Authority to facilitate the Uganda blood transfusion services to carry out blood donation activities.
Blood bank team has been out in the media calling upon people to donate blood. We are having a huge shortage in the country. So I want to request the clerk to organize for a blood donation week here in Parliament, so that we members of Parliament can be able to donate, and we save lives.
As we speak now, the Uganda blood transfusion service is short by 10 billion shillings. And in November, they put in a supplementary request, which up to now has not been honored. As we speak now, the blood they have already used the Q4 funds, so they have no money left. So, Right Honourable Speaker, can the request from the Uganda Blood Transfusion Services for the 10 billion shillings be availed to the national medical stores so that the necessary reagents and the blood banks are actually procured?
Parliament directed the Uganda Police Force Exodus Savings and Credit Cooperative, SACCO, to stop mandatory deduction of personnel salaries as savings.
The committee therefore recommends that the Registrar of Cooperative Societies proceeds over the Exodus SACCO under Section 2.2 of the Cooperative Societies Act to compel the board and management of the Exodus SACCO to audit and compile an updated, comprehensive and reliable membership register. 2, every member who has joined should be issued with a certificate of membership of savings and shares. 3, membership should remain voluntary.
The founding reason for this, like the one of the army, was welfare, to afford cheap credit to the rank and file. Granted, we had issues at the beginning of management. Some of the issues still subsist. But I want to urge members that rather than stampede the crash of this circle, why don't we maybe approach it with caution, convince people to stay.
If you perform well, like how you've said, the one of Wazarendo was about welfare. If you perform well, you will find this business of conscription is not necessary. Police officers will rush, will even bring much more to the circle. So it's all about really you performing well around the MSA and, this small man of theirs is hard earned to try, to control so much outside the precincts of the law is a very, very dangerous attribute. So, Honourable Minister, I will need an action taken. This House will need an action taken report within 3 months.
On Wednesday, 14th February 2024, a decision by government to maintain the current A-level curriculum for learners who have pioneered the new competence-based O-level curriculum received a backlash from MPs.
We are not transiting from the new lower secondary competence-based curriculum to a new competence-based upper secondary curriculum. We are moving from this very curriculum, which is competence-based, to the continuous curriculum of A-level. Why? Because the statement has made it clear we have to make consultation widely, as you people have raised, and come up with the competence-based A-level curriculum, which is not starting with this current senior 4 to go to senior 5.
That issue must be addressed. We have these children who have gone through this new curriculum. And you and I know who sat the old curriculum in S4 and sat the old curriculum in A level. The two are really different. We have these children now in a new curriculum, and we expect them to go to the old curriculum that is tormenting. Our children, mental health is going to be compromised.
I have a candidate, and the child was asking me that what am I going to do? And of course, I couldn't get an answer. I thought this was seamless. By the time you say, we change, okay, from this to this, then you know the transition. Because you started with 1 year, you started moving for 4 years. I thought we had prepared for the transition. This is a very, very delicate issue.
On Thursday, 15th February 2024, Parliament rejected a report from its Committee on Equal Opportunities recommending a review of the refugee policy to curtail their inflow to a sustainable level.
Uganda, for all its hospitality, has under difficult circumstances handled the large inflow of refugees from the Great Lakes region. This has placed a lot of pressure on social services, especially in host communities in the country. The committee strongly recommends that government revisits its refugee policy to forestall probable long-term conflict resulting from overflow of refugees and underfunding resulting from cuts in budgetary support from donors.
That shouldn't be something for this parliament, for the House to handle at this stage. It really involves a lot. By the time you reach this kind of decision. I don't want us to break news from here that Parliament has said, please stop welcoming more refugees. Such a recommendation is really It should be left to the executive after wide consultation with the international community, because it's our obligation.
The refugees have brought in a lot of development in Terego. If you see the funds coming from Dr. Deep that have built the district headquarters of Terego is because of refugees. Even the most recent ambulance was given to Terego East because of the refugees. West Nile stayed in Sudan, South Sudan and Congo for such a long time. Thank God some of my colleagues here have never known what it means to be a refugee. We should treat these people with dignity. These are human beings. They have come not because they want your country, they have come because there's a challenge back home.
The Prime Minister, Robin Anabanja, revealed that government has allowed only 5 kidney transplant procedures to be conducted at the Mulago National Referral Hospital as the country concludes plans to operationalize the organ transplant facility.
The Uganda shillings 46 million for a kidney transplant is a media-generated figure and not a government position. Government has not yet set the cost of our plan through Mulago team is to determine the price after more transplants have been made to get the right picture of the cost implication. After thorough assessment of all what entails the entire process of kidney transplant and full recovery of a patient, a reasonable figure shall be derived and Ugandans shall be informed accordingly.
I wish you also a happy weekend. House adjourned to Tuesday at 2 p.m.